Hello, today I will be showing you a complete guide for both how to get the Bill Gates achievement and a general farming guide if you want a lot of money. So starting off, we have to do the Bill Gates achievement in co-op. So we did this on a stream and somebody came in and we did it just fine. So in co-op, you can get more than one hero with each player, but we're just doing 2 players. So we have 2 heroes, which is the minimum, and we're going to start by funding each other a Benjamin so we can get a lot more money right off the bat. Normally I would say not to get more than one hero in co-op unless the other one is maxed, but Ben is a pretty big exception. His only good levels are kind of at the beginning, and the ones that are like past level 10 are kind of niche and don't really do anything. So we just want to get as many bends down as possible. If you have 4 players, it would be great to get all 4 down, and we're going to start farming. So I usually start with a few 200s, and I try to get a bank as early as possible. So if we're doing this in co-op, you can get like around 15 bank, which is pretty good. This did not really happen this run, which is kind of like the only thing that, well, actually there were 2 things. This is the only thing that did not really go exactly as most efficient. There were a few more like farms early on, but it still ended up working fine, and we got Bill Gates before round 90, so that is great. Now, basically what we're trying to do is get a bank up early, so we get the 200 farms, and then I could put another bank off to the side just to make it a little easier to manage. And you can also use farmers if you want to make it easier to manage, as well as tech bots. But we're basically getting these guys, and as you can see, I have the 020, and I can sell another farm when time comes to get the 030, and then I'm going to cross path it. And also something about defense, as you notice, we're going all the way into like 20 with just 0 darts, and right there we get the crossbow. So kind of throughout, you want to keep your defense to a minimum because farming is the big thing, and we need to focus as much as possible on farming. So we're just trying to go as far as possible with little defense. So it looks like the balloons are getting through, but we're really just fine, and we're trying to keep that down to a minimum. So as you can see there, we got our first bank. It was a little bit late, and also a wild gold balloon came up and popped it, so that was cool, I guess. I don't know. But we're just getting more farms. The other person gets a plantation, which I would not get. It's not as efficient as the bank. We do get those later, but just not now. We want to try to get more banks. So it's not like the end of the world. You're still getting a good amount of money, but it's just not the most efficient. And when the bank is full, we collect and we get more. So now that bank deposits got nerfed and it only works for tier 4, the banks will take a little bit more time to fill, but honestly I kind of like it more because it's easier to manage and you don't have to worry about going through each bank every few rounds to collect and deposit. Another gold balloon comes, it gets by. Very, very sad. I know I missed out on 3 monkey money. But now that we have a lot of banks, what I'm going to go for next is the IMF loans. Because what the IMF loans have is that they have a higher bank cap, so we can get more interest on it. And we also can use the ability to loan out money and sell back so that we can just delete the loan and keep the loan at the same time. I don't know, does that make sense? But also, I did not mention this before, so I should say it. If you did not know, you always want to keep the money in the bank until it's full, because the way that the banks work, it uses compound interest. And if you don't know what that is, just trust me, you want to keep the money in the bank. And because of that, what we're going to do is just save the money, and we can collect massive chunks, so like the 9.5 thousand at a time, and we'll get lots of money. So right now, as you can see, we've got a bunch of banks. I'm going to be upgrading to IMF loans so we get the increased cap. We can also use deposits on the IMF loans, which are cool, so we'll get a lot more money. And basically, as these things fill up, we're going to get, I think, like 5 of them ish. And then down there, we're going to, yeah, the other person gets an IMF loan too, which is cool. And then we're going to try to start working on our factory down there. And this is what the big farming is going to come from. It's going to come from the Banana Central, buffing all of the factories, which is an amazing tower. The Banana Central is a really good tower for farming because you can buff it with overclock, you can buff it with the village, and you make a ton of money. And then it also buffs the Banana Central, no, not the Banana Centrals, the Banana Factories, or if you want to be fancy, Banana Research Facility, and it will make even more money. So you're going to see later on, once we get our farming setup down, it's going to be making a ton of money. So right now I'm just trying to rack up money, putting money in and out of these banks, and when we have like a good amount of money, what I did there, you can slow that down to just see what I did, but what I did there was I collected all the money, so there's no money in the banks, and all that money is safe. And then what I did is I hit the ability, so I got the loan from one bank, then I sold the one that I hit the ability from, so we get half of the cash back, but all the money that we took out is still safe. And then we hit the loan on the next one and sell the one that we hit the loan on, and we just go through. So that way we get a ton of money really fast, and we don't lose a lot of money to the loans. So that will allow us to buy a Banana Central super early on, and it's just great being able to have it. So we got that, and now what we can do is just getting banana factories around. So one thing that I also have here is the 104 farm, and this basically increases all of the cash production of these farms, which is really nice, including the Banana Central. And then I also give some cash to my teammate to get an overclock, and he's going to be overclocking the Banana Central, and later on overclocking the village, but that's just to give it more range to sacrifice all of these banana factories into the Monkeyopolis. After you do that, you don't want to overclock it more because it won't produce more money, but you want to keep overclocking the Banana Central. And also Ultra Boost works on it too, so that's good. So I'm just spamming the factories around, just getting ready to Monkeyopolis. I'm not sure if I did already, but we're gonna basically, once we Monkeyopolis, we're gonna get more farms down, and then I'm gonna give the cash to my buddy to get even more farms on his side. If you're doing this just in single player and want to get a ton of money, you're basically gonna fill the rest of the map up with farms and get the money that you need. And for the Bill Gates achievement, you only need $2.5 million, so we ended up going for just that amount, but we did get a little bit extra to be safe, and it was all good. And once you get the $2.5 million for Bill Gates, you want to turn off auto start for all players, so the round that comes after won't start, and then you sell everything and give all the money to one player, so they have the 2.5 million plus right in their account, and then in one click give it to another player, so that's the 500,000 in one go, and that's what gives you the achievement. And then you give all the money back to the other player so they can do the same to you, so everybody can get the achievement, and that will get you the Bill Gates achievement. And also, if you're just doing this for farming, you will get a lot of money. This is like $3 million is more than enough to go deep into free play. Actually, I'm not sure. You might need more because of the paragons, but just you can farm a little bit longer into like round 100 and be fine. You'll get everything. So that is a general farming guide and Bill Gates guide. I will put some music in the background just as the rest of the run goes by.